5-1.
Yeah, this was a tricky one because we picked Mr. Kurt Russell, and
Thanks, Trev. See you later. Bye.
yeah, we both like quite a few of his films, and it was tough to get it to 5 and
It
to
wasn't just tough.
not to have about a dozen honourable mentions, but we got there in the end. You ask us on another day, I think this list might swap around a little bit, but I've gone for my initial reaction today when I did this, and I'm going to stick with it.
Fair enough.
Mate, what's your honourable mentions?
I've got 3 honourable mentions.
Yep, so have I.
So my honourable mentions are Tombstone,
Right.
Stargate,
Okay.
and Monarch: Legacy of Monsters.
The TV series. I saw that, and I quite enjoyed the TV series, but yeah, I didn't put it on there. So my 3 are Backdraft.
Yep.
This film, The Thing, and Death Proof.
Fair
I could have quite easily, because obviously Death Proof is part of the Rodriguez
Grindhouse,
and I could have quite easily put that one on there because that's a great film on it as well. But I put Death Proof mainly because Kurt Russell is a big part of that film.
Stuntman Mike.
Fucking brilliant name that is. Yeah, so mate, what's your number 5?
As you said, this number top 5 could bounce around different orders, replaced, added, renewed, because I truly think there's probably only a rare few films that Kurt Russell is bad in. Yeah, or
Right.
they are bad films. I don't like ranking my Kurt Russell films, but I'm going to have to. So
yes, you are.
Number 5 is Soldier.
Okay.
He plays it's set in the same universe as Blade Runner. And he portrays a soldier that's been brought up since a child with no emotions and just built to be a soldier, and is superseded by a newer model and dumped on a planet just to fend for himself, expected to be dead. And it just goes from there how he carries on with life, shall we say.
Was it Mario Van Peebles was the
No, it
other
was
advanced soldier?
Jason Scott Lee. Yeah, he was the other advanced soldier. But the film itself, absolutely fantastic. And the reference to Blade Runner in there, I thought was even better.
I think I've only ever seen it once, and I wasn't.
And Sean Pertwee dies as usual.
Yeah.
Yours?
Mine is Tombstone.
Okay.
I'm not a huge Western fan, but I just thought this film was fantastic. Three brothers and Doc Holliday.
Yeah.
Yeah, a great cast. Such a well done film that yeah, I watch it now and again when it's on. Like I say, I'm not a massive Western fan. I think I said that when we watched Magnificent Seven, but yeah, it's done really, really well. And what's your number 4, my friend?
Tango and Cash.
Okay.
Purely because of it being so over the top. Him and Sylvester Stallone, Jack Palance. It's over the top fun. I love the film. It's about 2 cops that are framed, so it just goes from there.
Yeah, it's a 80s buddy cop movie. Yeah, it's I enjoyed that. I think there were better buddy cop, or there was a lot of films out at that time. You've only got to think like 48 Hours of like 2 people who aren't fans of each other who have to work together. It'd been done quite a bit in the 80s, hadn't it? What's the one with Arnold Schwarzenegger and James Belushi, where he's the Russian?
Red Heat.
Yeah. It's sort of like there was a lot of films out like that in the 80s. My number 4 is one that was on your honourable mentions list, and that is Stargate. I love it. I think it's fantastic. It was something so unique when it came out in, what was it, 94? Yeah, it was brilliant. It takes sci-fi, it takes ancient Egyptians and stuff like that, and obviously it's gone ballistic now with the TV series.
The new one coming.
But yeah, just that original film, I thought was fantastic. And if it's ever on TV, I watch it because I've got
to admit, I haven't watched it for a while.
The original movie. Yeah, it's probably about a year ago. Was the last time I saw it. It was on Amazon or Netflix or one of
Yeah.
those, and now I want to watch it again because I really enjoy it.
I wouldn't mind watching it myself, but hey, that's another matter.
Right, you're number 3.
Number 3, again, this is getting towards most of it, in no particular order. Big Trouble in Little China. Him and John Carpenter again.
Yes.
It's a great film. I'm not even going to bother sitting there saying what the best parts of the film are or anything else like that. It's just, again, it's another decent John Carpenter and Kurt Russell movie. Fun and games in
Yeah,
that film.
exactly. That's what I'd say with that film. It's such good fun.
Yeah.
He's almost playing a parody of many
Every
other
other
characters.
action hero.
No, or of basically himself. He's playing a parody of a lot of his other characters, isn't he, in there?
Yeah.
And Kim Cattrall looks stunning in that film as well.
Not too far away from when she did Mannequin.
Yeah, I think so.
What's yours?
Mine's Hateful Eight.
Okay.
You saying earlier about films, you watch it when it snows. When it does snow, it always reminds me of this film. And I remember I went to the cinema to see this, and I remember sitting there, and at the beginning, you've got, vastness of snow everywhere. And I remember shivering in the cinema because it just felt so cold. Whether they turned the temperature down in there, I don't know. But it just made you feel so cold when you're in there.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a great film. Tarantino, just at his finest, I think. It was, he wanted to do many different, he's supposedly doing, 11 films or something like that. And then he's going to retire. And yeah, when this one came along, because it was so different from everything else he'd done. And
yeah,
it's so good. And again, a stellar cast.
Agreed. It is a damn good cast in this film.
Yeah.
Ironic that it was up against another film that we've mentioned in our podcasts at the cinema at the same time.
What was up?
The remake of Point Break.
Yeah, I know which one I would have rather seen. Right. So what's your number 2, my friend?
My number 2 is Escape from New York. Another John Carpenter.
Sorry,
fantastic film.
I had to look then. I thought I'd missed that off my list.
Yeah, no, absolutely fantastic film. I think the era that it was set, the era that it was supposed to be set in, I think they've done an absolutely fantastic job with the film. And the casting and the acting and the character building in that is just almost second to none.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised there have not been more Snake Plissken films.
Or even a TV series. I was surprised from when it came out, they didn't make it into a cartoon.
Yeah.
Because they like doing that in the 80s as well, is taking characters that...
Rambo,
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
That aren't supposed to be for kids, but then they made sort of like a cartoon version of them.
Chuck
for
Norris.
Kids. Yeah. Oh, God, that was awful. Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. They did. They took some 18-rated films and chucked them into kid-related cartoons. So yeah, it's just rather weird. But yeah, more Snake Plissken is always good. And they're not far off making a remake of that, in my opinion. Or a reboot, at least.
Yeah. I'd like to see it. No, I wouldn't bother.
I'd have Wyatt.
I'm not a fan.
No?
My number 2 is your number 3, Big Trouble in Little China. Okay. And all for the same things you just said. It's fun. It's some stupid puppetry, over-the-top wire work, over-the-top special effects, over-the-top scripts. Just great fun. Yeah, it's such a good film. And another one of his that never did huge at the cinema, that became huge through video release.
Yeah, definitely got a cult following.
Yes. Now, I'm not sure I have to ask this question because I've got a feeling I know the answer. But Mark, what's your number 1 Kurt Russell film?
Overboard.
I think you're lying.
It might be the film that I've watched the most with him in it. The Thing.
Yeah. I thought that might be your answer somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I love this film. Again, it's one of those go-to films for me. If I'm If I'm bored, if it's freezing cold, if it's snowing, I will just gravitate towards this film. It's just a fantastic movie, and it hits every single mark for me with special effects, acting, script, design, camera work, wire work, anything like that. It's just everything is perfect. I'm not saying that there's not failures in there. I've pointed out a couple of failures now.
Yeah.
But I think it's the ambiguity of the end of the film as well, that it still gets you sitting there thinking. Even as I pointed out with the actual book that I've got, I read a passage, the last passage to you, apart from instead of sitting there with a drink in their hands, they're playing chess.
Mm.
It's still ambiguous. And I like films and series that get you thinking at the end of it, even if you're just trying to join the dots. Where this happened, why this happened. Hang on a minute, did you forget about this? Oh, hang on a minute, that's going to take me down a dark path. You've seen what I've been like with Stranger Things over the last couple
Exactly.
of weeks.
I was waiting for you to stop, and I was going to say exactly. Yeah, things that leave you talking about the film afterwards. And
Mm,
I don't know how many conversations me and you have had, not just on this podcast, but just in general, where we're just chatting on a phone call, when we've gone out for a drink, and the amount of times you bring up this film as
yeah,
just a reference to something completely different. And you
yeah.
mentioned this film so many times. Uh, so it was a long time coming, us reviewing this one.
43 episodes, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And your
uh,
number one.
my number one was your number two, Escape from New York. You know, when you went to the video store, there was always one or two video cases that grabbed you just like that. And it was the
The
movie
poster.
poster of this with the Statue of Liberty's head on the ground, and then
Yeah,
basically just badly painted pictures of a couple of characters sort of like running.
yeah.
And but it just grabbed me straight away. And then I remember watching it and going, I've not seen anything like that before.
No, agreed.
And it's,
And I'm still tempted to buy that poster now. I,
I love, absolutely love that poster. It's such an iconic,
yeah.
like I say, there was always just a couple, for example, Scanners, just sort of him
People
standing
dead.
there. Yeah, there was just a couple of posters that always stood out to you around that
Yeah,
early 80s when video rental was new, and that was one of them. And I couldn't
yeah.
wait to watch this film. And yeah,
Agreed.
I've loved it because there was never anything else like it. And it was, yeah, it was just brilliant. And I love the film. So that's my number one.
Yeah. Again, as I said to you, with my top, with most of my Kurt Russell films, I could not sit there like you and say I have to narrow it down to a top five that doesn't flex.
Exactly. And I think the only reason The Thing isn't on here is because I've watched it about 3 or 4 times over the last week or so. So
Mm.
this is going to sound wrong because I know you love the film. I get a little bored of it when you're watching the same thing over and over again. But in six
Yeah,
months' time, this will be up there in the top five. But
yeah,
it's just at the as I am at the minute, and like I say, these could swap around quite easily. Any one of those. I think the only one that would stay where it is would be Escape from New York.
okay,
But yeah, a few of the others could swap around quite easily, and and there's many others that could be added to that as well, to that
fair enough.
list. So go, come on then, my friend, give me your one bad.
We've mentioned it before, and I'm thinking that yours might be the same as mine. That we've mentioned it before. Our detest for this film, Vanilla Sky.
I didn't even realize he was in that film.
Yeah,
That's how much I enjoyed that film.
yeah. It's an awful film.
Yes,
I think probably
yes,
he is kind of the highlight of it. But go back to a previous episode, and it's there. I think it was the Cameron Diaz episode that we said that it was her worst film.
yeah, yeah. Um,
You?
well, I was torn between two, and one of them was Captain Ron,
Okay, but Captain
which
Ron isn't bad.
I didn't find it that funny at all. But there was a film I found even less funny, and we've reviewed it before on this
Yeah,
podcast. And even though I detest Vanilla Sky, I think it's still got to be Overboard. It was just shocking. and just listen to our Overboard episode, and you can hear how much we enjoy it. But yeah, it's probably going to be Overboard. If I never see that film again,
You'd be happy.
I will not be disappointed at all.
That's fair enough, mate. Yeah, fair enough. So on that one, I think that's it for this episode, unless you got anything else.
No, I'm done, mate.
So thanks for listening to everyone. Please, obviously, again, like, subscribe. We put out as much as we can, and we're possibly looking at doing some more shorts, which are our 5-to-1s that we've just done here, as separate videos as well. So have a like, have a listen, subscribe.
Yeah, all the details are at the end of this podcast.
So again, this has been the Deja Review. Thanks for listening. Please remember to follow, like, and subscribe. Where can they get hold of us, Trev?
Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Blue Sky. Just go to @TheDejaReview or contact us via our email, which is thedejareview@gmail.com.
I'm Mart.
And I'm Trev.
Enjoy yourselves.